again, good Tuesday, real good Tuesday. I mean, there's some things at the end we got to push through, but much better practice. Learning to practice, learning to be consistent, and all drills, going from drill to drill. We're still not where we want to be, but it's coming. It's coming. You can see it every day. A lot more consistent. Question? On both sides of the ball and special teams.
Have they done a good job of putting Miami away?
Oh yeah, that's over. But we did that on Sunday when they came back in. That's over, gone. Listen, that's just one game. Get ready for Louisville.
Yesterday when you were speaking of Louisville and how this could be a team that should be 4-1 or 5-0, do you think that's a message that's resonated with your team?
Oh, they know it. Look at the film. When they see the film, they know it. That's a good football team. And they know it. We got to go play ball.
So Kareem Marr, how's his status?
Good, getting better. He didn't practice today. We held him, but there'd be a chance by the end of the week there's a possibility he could be ready to go. He's healing pretty quickly, and he works at it too.
With the continuity this offensive line had in the last game, could you see him playing ahead of Matt Vegan? Or?
Oh, I don't know. Let's wait and figure out if he can play.
Now that you do have that continuity of the offensive line, kind of what are you seeing with that group cohesively, I guess, kind of working together?
It's not all the way there. I mean, there's still a lot of work to do, but they're getting used to each other, understanding calls, play calls, what's going on, and just been enough games now that realize, okay, I've done this game stuff. Now it's just doing my job and not get caught up in all the craziness, you know.
Jimbo, what's going on with her?
Got a concussion.
The tight ends used Maven quite a bit the other day. What are you seeing in his development?
Practice, getting better and better, learning to be that guy you can count on putting the games. And him and Izzo, man, they bring a whole different dimension. Those guys, I'm telling you, when this whole thing's said and done, those two are going to be really good players now. I mean, because they got size, they can block, and they can get vertical. They're athletic. They got tremendous ball skills.
And you talked about that in the preseason, getting both of those guys in the field at the same time. You kind of got glimpses of what that can do.
When they're ready and the packages come that we need in the game, we'll be ready to do that.
Given how much you guys used the tight end in the last few years, how different has it been to have to work that position in as the game goes on?
No, we still work it every day, just like we know when Nick was here. We still do the same plays in practice, watching them develop, and we pick and choose the things we feel really comfortable with them doing. But it's been pleasure. I like those guys. It's fun working those guys. They're going to be good. They're fun to watch, fun to practice.
Did Kilby Lane get dinged up in practice? That's important.
No, he got a little strain in his upper leg and his muscle. He wasn't hanging on. He got in the game. Flying out, he did a phenomenal job on the special team. Phenomenal job. He and Davion Elliott, man, they were making some headway.
As far as guys like Shamar and Thad are concerned, how are they coming along?
Really good. And Lou, all those young guys, you can start to see that. All right, I got over all that craziness. Now I'm back to playing football again. You know what I mean? It's kind of got that second wind and you're starting to develop, and I'm excited. Those guys are going to add a lot of depth to what we're doing.
As far as that depth, I mean, do you think maybe this is the weekend where you start to see it, or is there maybe a game a little bit later in the year? I
have no idea. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We don't know how they practice this week.
Some of the last, I believe, 12 games you've been within a touchdown. You guys have won them all. What do you think, contribute just to the team's
don't worry about winning. Worry about playing. Just play the game, play one play at a time, take care of what you can control, and that's the play you're playing, and believe in what we're doing, and stay true to the process, and try to have discipline, do things right. I mean, hopefully that will continue. I had no idea that was right.
How natural is it for players just to tighten up, or when the game gets close, they're just...
And youth and guys do it, and guys do it all the time. You see it all the time. I mean, and that's part of, you got to get them to over that hump, and we still have guys that, always make a few mistakes here and there in that situation. You always will. You'll never have everybody perfect. You just got to get them to believe in the process and play the next play. That play's no different than the first play at the end of the day if you execute it. What made Michael Jordan and Joe Montana and all that Brady and Manning and all those great ones, it was just a play. That's what made Tiger when he was put. What made Jack Nicklaus just a put.
Were you happy with the young team that the last year or two they have that don't flinch mentality and they just keep going?
I'm proud of them. I mean, again, there's still a lot of work to do, but we do compete. And again, in the last game, I was very happy. I thought this team took a step forward in a lot of little areas. Not just talking about execution of plays, but just mentality and tenaciousness and competitiveness. I was very proud of that.
Just maybe the lessons of last year, because you guys were behind in more than a few games in the second half and were able to...
I don't know if it's lessons from last year as it is just lessons from themselves going through it with their own experiences.
Seems like there's been a lot that's gone on in college football lately. Spurrier stepping down.
Wow, one of the great coaches of all time. Great guy, too. I mean, I like Steve. Times I've been around him and spent time with him, he and his wife, Jerry, great people. And college football, also a great guy.
And it's also with Coach Sarkisian. I mean, I know you say you try to keep to what's going on yourself, but I mean, what do you think about the current state where there's so much chaos?
That's our world. That's the world of sports today. I mean, and with Twitter and the pressures and everything's magnified, tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold than it used to be years ago. It's not the same world, coaching, playing, doing all the things. I say it all the time, and no one understands it. That's a fact. That's what you live with every day. But it is what it is. It ain't gonna change. So you got to deal with it.
But how did it get in college football? Because you never used to see coaches fired until the end of the year. Now you're seeing mid-season firings. And
how much coverage we get? How much y'all hear? How much y'all writing something every day? You used to write one article a week or 2 articles a week on a newspaper. It got out. Now you guys are putting things out, tweeting. I mean, the information, the world, the social media. It's just the world we live in. Now ESPN, now TV, now money and the contracts. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, it's a big business. This is a business world. I mean, college football it is, but it's big business. And the big business comes pressure, comes money. That's what comes with it.
Today, you almost have to be as aware of the business side as much as you are X's and O's as a coach.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's all the awareness of what's going on and what's happening with your team and what they're reading, what they're doing. I mean, that's why I say the hats that a coach has to wear now is even so much greater than he ever did in the old days. Because of the amount of information and things that these kids deal with now.
Coach Spurrier, a lot of folks said he sort of modernized college football, particularly the SEC. Do you remember when he first showed up?
Oh yeah, he did. I was in 1AA coaching it then, and then we didn't coach against him anytime. We had some 93 and 94 had 2 great games with him up there at Auburn, and we had that 20-game win streak, and had some other games with him. Of course, we had the bowl game, and Steve does. I mean, he was, and that was a running league, and he transformed it into a throwing league or a wide open league, and throw the ball around when everybody else is pounding it in there. But you think about it, if you go back and really look at his numbers, he had a lot of rushing yards with them backs too. There was a lot of balance in it. He may throw it a lot early, but he'd run it at the end and milk the clock and do the things he had to do. But there was a lot of balance in that thing. And Steve's one of the great football coaches of all time, one of the great offensive minds.
Were you amazed with what he was able to do at South Carolina? Just kind of a program that struggled and he was able to.
Look the way he did at Duke. Before that, I mean, Tampa Bay, I mean, he's won everywhere. He's a winner. And he's a competitor, and he knows ball. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but it's a tremendous accomplishment for the history of what they've had, and I mean, what he has done there, and it really brought them to the forefront of college football.
Do you have a favorite memory of his games with Florida State in the 90s?
No, none just jumped off the top of me. I mean, there's some great ones.
Terrence Smith get close to the practice?
Who?
Terrence Smith.
Nah, we'll see day to day. I mean, but I don't know. I would say more the middle to end of the week if there's anything. We'll know. He's doing some treatment things right now, but he's out of that boot walking around. He's getting. I mean, he actually got better quicker than we thought, but I don't know how far up close he is to practice quite yet. We're good. Thanks.